I'm Hazel. Welcome to Tuesday. Happy second day of the business week. Katie, you gonna come up? Hi. Katie says hi. Katie says happy Tuesday. I mean, I don't know what Katie says. I really shouldn't speak for her. What's up? What do you say? What do you want to say? You want to look around my desk and see if there's anything you can get into? Yeah. Silly kitty. Alright, this morning we're going to be doing ICC runs as usual. There's not really a ton of pressure, but like, I'm just saying it would be really, really cool if the mount dropped today, because while there have been some tuning adjustments on the 8.0 PTR that make it feasible to run ICC, it's still not as it's not quite what it was. And that's maybe something that's like, you know, during 8.0 while we're at 110, but before BFA actually comes out we can get 120. Maybe during that time it'll be a little awkward, and then once we're 120 with gear it'll be face roll again. But there you go, she has some purrs to say for you. But in any case, it's gonna be a little questionable. The lockout trick should still work. When I was on the PTR, I did check. You can still adjust the difficulty in instance after accepting the lockout. So that should be all well and good. I have not logged on this bank vault today. I have all of, oh man, 200 gold. I'm rich. Hi. Hi. She only does this when I'm streaming, by the way. Or recording. She knows. She knows. Good morning, everyone. Cameron, Jessica, Lynn, Alexander, Kristen, Gil, Piper, Bella. How are you guys doing? What is the print on your glasses cloth there? Here, this is the, don't get too excited about it because I don't think you can buy it anymore. But it's like a Hearthstone board. So it looks like that. It's like the Hearthstone board, and then on the back, it's got like a name tag that I never signed, and then it's also signed by G Megatorque. What does the G stand for again? I don't remember. Yeah, I got that from the Blizzard Gear Store back during the spring cleaning sale. I don't know if they carry them anymore, but they were very cheap at that time. Kitty, that's your tail. Okay. Is it because of difficulty with the stat squish? Yeah, it's not like it's going to be undoable. It's just going to be less of a face roll than it previously was. So far, I mean, they could always continue tuning. Today I'm going to be moving just a little bit more slowly, just because, not even more slowly, but through the runs a little more slowly, because, hang on, I need to start by resetting my lockout. Whew, all of my dudes, no, that's not what I want. What am I doing? There we go. All of my dudes are not out front of ICC anymore, because I've been running them all over the place doing family familiar tamers, and they're not all out front of ICC anymore. Kitty, I'm gonna need this hand. I'm gonna need it. I know. Hi. Kitty knows what the people want. Leveling my Shadow Priest is taking forever. It's worth it though. Good things in life take time. You know, you'll feel more attached to it when it's done, because you put in the suffering early on. Or something. I'm not wearing any headphones right now. Do I need them? They're over there. Always hearing WoW YouTubers reference the PTR. What does the PTR stand for exactly? So PTR is the public test realm. It's kind of like beta, except that instead of being for the next expansion... Sorry, my headphones are talking to me. Great, thank you. It's like the beta, but instead of being testing for the next expansion, it's just testing for the next patch, and you don't need an invite. It's public, so anybody can download it right on their launcher and log in and start playing on the PTR to test the next patch whenever it's available. It's not always up, but usually for a month or so before a major patch, they'll have it up on the PTR, and that's what's going on with that. So I need to move a little bit more quickly so that my group doesn't get delisted while I'm logged off. Your streams have convinced me to finally stick with an Alliance tomb beyond the starting area. Nice. Do you happen to know how the Darkmoon Fair Profession quest will work with how professions will be split up per expansion in BFA? So I would assume, and I haven't tested it, so I don't specifically know. My best guess is that you will continue to be able to do the profession quests, and that they will just give you... I don't think they're going to give you old expansion levels. Like, you're not going to level up your mop cooking with a Darkmoon Fair quest. I don't think. I can't confirm. and I need to check this again, but as far as I remember, there was also... Alright, let's actually get into that group. As far as I remember, there was also an overall level independent of the little expansion levels. There was an overall level, and it'll probably still grant you some power with that. But maybe they took that out. I don't know. I need to double check. What's your natural hair color? Brown, dark brown. If you go onto my channel and you find the vlog playlist and you go back far enough, you'll find it. How long do you leave your hair color on? I just bought Arctic Fox, says longer than 30 minutes. Your color is always so vibrant. So I follow the Celestalon Imager hair guide. I have it bookmarked. I can throw it somewhere. It's also, I don't know, I have it bookmarked. And he does it for like half a day. Because you're doing it at home, you have the luxury of leaving it on for basically as long as you want. It's not gonna, Arctic Fox hair dye, as long as you're not lightening, as long as there's no developer, it's not gonna damage your hair by leaving it on for longer. So pretty much as long as you can put up with. I would say minimum an hour. I usually do 2, and then after 2 hours, if I'm feeling really gross and slimy and I just want the gross slimy stuff off of my head, then I'll go take it out. But if I am feeling okay, then I'll keep going. I'll usually just, I would love to have like a hair dye gaming day where I just like put it in my hair and then I just like spend some time just playing games. I did at least one time, I remember, do a bunch of WoW Arena with my hair in, because I remember putting the headphones over like the hairnet and hoping that they didn't get stained, and they totally did. But yeah, a couple hours. At least one. Only about 700 rep away from Void Elves. Nice! If you haven't done the weeklies already, that'll put you over. And that's fresh on my mind because my husband and I have been doing world quests out in Argus to get him his Argusian retrep, because he really wants to make Void Elves. And today is the day for him. Today, once we've done the weeklies, it'll be over the line. You can start leveling, which would be cool. Hello Kitty and Hazel. Those character names. I have a creative imagination when it comes to shoving vowels and extra letters into the word Hazel. The name Hazel. This is my first stream I've watched from you. Welcome to the stream, Thomas. How are you doing today? Hi, Hazel. Thank you for streaming and listening while getting work done on my other PC. Nice. Finally joined a Hazel stream. Hi. Hello. Hi, Hazel. Good morning. Range classes are best to help your friends in a dungeon. Pretty much whatever, honestly. If you're just going in as a ranged DPS, you're not really going to be helping at the queue time, which is fine. So whatever you're comfortable on, whatever you feel like you're going to do good damage on, or whatever character you have that has the most gear. I have limited knowledge of what and how well classes do if they're not a Shadow Priest. So I don't have a super educated answer to that question. Kitty looks like the villain in the Ninja Go movie. Ninja Go? I've never heard of that. Hey Hazel, I don't normally comment on live streams, but I'm too excited not to. My new gaming computer got delivered a week early. Nice! That's so exciting! Then you can really get through the process of downloading everything. That's always a little bit anticlimax for me whenever, I say whenever, like I've done it more than like 3 times, but when I get a new PC set up, raid difficulty, normal, 25, zone in, bump it up. When I get a new PC set up, I'm so excited and I get it and it turns on, or I build it and it turns on. I'm finally excited to have this PC that turns on, and then I'm like, well, now it's time to download everything all day. So I just set everything downloading, and then I leave the house because I can't just sit there and watch it. It's too slow. All right, here we go, 11 to 12, 1. We have quite a few characters to run the Lich King on. We're doing runs, I want to say like 70 through 90-ish, somewhere in that range. Not 20 runs worth, but like 10-ish, approximately, sort of. You know what else I want to check? And I'm not going to do this on stream, probably, but I want to just know if there are family familiar tamers up to date that I need. So we've got Muriel. Okay, I'll need to do her. It's really juicy when there's a family familiar tamer that I need that also gives pet charms. Oh, Durian. Oh man, it's going to be a long day. I need both of those. That's 20 pet battles I have to do today right there. What's the third one? And Galveston. Okay, I've already done Galveston. This is my family familiar progress. I've been doing this off stream because I'm not using original strats. I'm using strategies from wow-petguide.com. Very good if you're looking for family familiar strats. And I feel like it would be a rough thing to stream because I'm constantly checking to see what moves I'm using and what order I'm using, so I wouldn't be chatting much, or if I did chat, I would just mess up. But that's where I'm at. I would say we're about half done. We've got at least 6 done and a couple more on some. Gabrielle, thank you very much for the super chat. Or Gabrielle, I'm not sure how you prefer to pronounce it. So excited to catch a stream live. Your plants look so good. Hope you're well. Oh, thank you. There's finally some, and I have, don't get me wrong, once I'm started on Fish Talk, I've got some stuff to tell you guys because I've had a heck of a week. But, Yeah, there's finally some Java Fern babies that are coming off of those Java Ferns that I could move into the other tank. But I'm chilling on doing stuff for now. Hazel, do you know if Mimiron's head is still available? Yes, Mimiron's head is still available. I don't know anything about what you need to do to make it drop, though. I don't know about that one. Somebody in chat probably does. It's pretty commonly known info. I just don't know it. If you don't get the Invincible today, I suggest we all sign a petition to send a Blizzard to make it drop for you. I wanna earn it, you know? I don't want stuff that just happened because the universe felt bad for me, you know? That's not the way. Best Horde race for Priest? Damage-wise or looks-wise? Because damage-wise, I don't know. What did it used to be? Blood Elf? No. Looks-wise, absolutely, my personal ranking for Horde, Priest, Shadow Priest races looks-wise, I would stick Undead at the top, and then after that, Undead, Troll, I guess we're counting the new ones, Undead, and then Zandalari, Troll, and Nightborn is up there. Yeah, Undead Shadow Priests are real cool, though. First day free after quitting a toxic job, glad to relax with your stream, congrats! I hope that your life takes you in a much better direction. The thing that's getting me through leveling my priest is watching all of your streams while I play. Good morning, Hazel from Loveland, Colorado. Good morning. So happy I caught the stream a bit before I head to work for the day. I'm sending good vibes to you for the mount drops. Thank you. You have a guide for your UI? Not a recent one, but honestly, all of my really old ones are still absolutely in date because I haven't gotten anything new. The basic, very short version of it is Bartender 4 for bars, shadowed unit frames for unit frames, KUI nameplates, and then cast bars are Gnosis, Gnosis. I could just make like an 11-second video that is just me saying those things, and I could put it up. Add-on Ds for your character frame in the top left corner. That is shadowed unit frames. Alright, I'm trying to catch up a little bit without missing too much. I've got a new computer coming. I download in advance, park things in an external drive. Oh, that's thoughtful. Is thoughtful the right word? I'm thinking of thinking ahead. Resourceful? No. Smart. That's smart. That's a smart thing to do. What mount drop would you want the most today? Invincible, because that's all I'm running. I'm just going to kill the Lich King over and over and over again until I don't have any more time. Or more characters. That's the plan for today. I love your videos. What realm do you play on? I would like to start playing on your realm. I play on Lightbringer, but I should put out there that I play in a guild that's not open to the public. And I don't honestly do a whole lot with other people. Every now and then we'll do a stream group for Time Walking or an LFR or something, but those are available cross-realm. So being on a specific realm isn't really a big deal. Hey there, Hazel, all the way from Alaska. Hello, Indie Jack. How are you doing? It's me again in the car with the missus and my new fish tank. She's tamping. What gaming computer do you recommend? I really want to try saving up for one, but want to make sure it's worth the money. So if you're trying to buy a pre-built, with computers, it's always a little bit more about what's in it than who made it. If all of I would say first of all, don't get a laptop. If we're talking in very broad terms, if at all possible, do not purchase a gaming laptop. You don't want to do it. You want to get a desktop unless you have, like, there are good reasons to own a laptop, but there are not that many good reasons, or to have a gaming laptop as your primary computer, I should say. You're always going to be much better off with a desktop. So start with that. After that, I would not personally, if we're just talking brands, and I'm gonna buff or bash brands, and you could have good experiences with the brands that I don't like, and you could have bad experiences with the brands that I do like. But I haven't bought a branded PC since I was like a young teenager. I've been building because I prefer that. But if we're talking brands, because I did used to sell computers, and I got a good look at how many come back and how many have problems, and just like on average, I do not personally like Dell or Alienware. They are the same company. I do not like them, specifically Alienware, because they're real expensive and they look kind of tacky, and they're basically just Dells with like the extra lights on them. It doesn't mean that if you get an Alienware that it's trash. If you have an Alienware and you're happy with it, that's great, as long as it's working for you. I need to do my next character. But I think your money could be better used elsewhere. HP, I'm also not a huge fan of. I prefer, your Asus is decent. Samsungs are alright, but usually instead of just going for a brand name pre-built desktop, you can custom build them You can order them custom built. There's a couple of websites that will do that. Websites such as iBuyPower, CyberPower, Falcon, Digital Storm, all those things. The thing that I would look out for when you're doing that is if there's an option where you can like save $200 by getting our cheap RAM or whatever. Do that at your own risk. Anywhere that they're giving you their own name brand parts, that's extra margin for them, and there may have been cost cut there. But if you build a custom built PC through there and you choose all parts that you could have just bought yourself and put together yourself, then you're just paying the extra money to have somebody else assemble it for you, and that's honestly worth it, even if you know how to build it. If they're going to do a decent job, if you trust them to do a decent job. Okay. Building PC is definitely less scary than it sounds, though, and pretty satisfying. Hey there, Hazel. Oh, I read that one already. So glad I'm watching your stream. Now I know the invasion is up. I can get on my alt. I should do that. I've been kind of doing my warrior is the next character I've been working on with invasion leveling, and I should run her through. Maybe at the end of this. Maybe after the Met runs. How did she skip straight to the Lich King? I have a lockout. I have an 11 of 12 lockout that I made like months ago, and I actually have a video called Lockout Sharing in ICC or something to that effect that tells you exactly how to share your lockout between all of your alts. So you can use one lockout week after week. You never have to re-clear the raid, and you can just skip straight to the Lich King, kill him over and over again. The short version of it is once you have the 11 of 12, at the beginning of the stream, I started an LFG group. I then logged over, joined that group, and handy things when you're doing that. If you make if your alts are all in the same guild as your main, you can make the group private to prevent other people from joining it and irritating you. And the other thing is to set it to auto accept so that you don't have to log back over to accept. But this is a group that I made, so I'm now going to sign up and I'm going to join it. I'm going to wait for lead to pass over to my active character. Because this is the second time I'm doing it, I will then need to kick the character I last ran on. But this one here is just my bank alt. She sits in Stormwind. She's set in Stormwind for a long time. She's never going to clear the raid, but every week she starts the group, and I just log my characters through it. So once I'm going to head out to the raid. Once I actually get there, what I do is before you zone in, set it to normal 25, then zone in and accept the lockout, then upgrade it to heroic and accept the lockout again, and then you're good to run through. Okay, skipping ahead. Raid share lockout still work. It still works for ICC as of today. I can never verify it for any other raids because I don't try it, and also other raids work a little bit differently. I've heard of people having success in some of them, but I couldn't tell you. On the Pet Battle website, it has scripts you can copy, press one button, it will fight for you. Is this allowed on WoW? So I'm aware of the add-on that you're talking about. I think it's TD script. As far as I know, it is well within terms of service. It is just a regular add-on. It is fine, and the reason for that is because you are still pressing a button for each move. You're just making use of an add-on to tell it to select which one. It's very similar to what Trade Skill Master does, where you are pressing a button, spamming it over and over again, and it's posting all of these different items by all these specific pricing rules. It's basically TSM for pet battles, where you're pressing the button over and over again, and it's taking pet battle action by the rules set in the script. I do think to some extent it might violate the spirit of what's allowed in WoW, so they may decide to shut it down anyways, but it doesn't violate terms of service. It should be very safe. I don't use it yet, but I was looking into how to write scripts for it. I don't know if I would put them in my videos, because I don't know how I feel about it yet. How many attempts are you on? Oh, I should check. Let's see, rarity. Also, now that I'm the group leader, I can remove my previous tune from this group. There we go. Okay, so rarity, mounts, invincibles, reigns. I have tried 86 times. I've tried 86 times. We're going to go do 87. Hazel, please say hi to me. Hi, Daniel. How are you doing? Hey, Hazel's up. It's Nat. Yogs are on 25 heroic, no watchers for chance at Mim's head. 25 heroic, no watchers. Okay. Best race for Shadow Priest is Dark Iron Dwarf. Fight me. I really need a new monitor. I'm thinking about going for 1440p. Not sure. 24, 27. Personally, like, if you're talking about just one, then don't. I think it's way better to have two 24s or even three 24s than one 27. If you're talking having multiple 27s, then that's actually what I have right here. I have two 27s and then a sideways 24. And honestly, it's a little too big. I know that makes me sound real, what's the word? I can't think of a nice word. It doesn't make me sound good, but it's a little bit too big. I'm like, when I'm working, I've got like some reference info over my left side. I've got my editing pane on the right side. I'm turning my head too far to get to different aspects of the screen. It would have been better. I would have been better off sticking with higher resolution 24s. I prefer 24s to 27s. If you're just doing one and you really don't want 2 monitors, then I think you can do well with a 27, but it is a lot. So now I'm at the raid. I have kicked my previous tune. I'm making sure that we are normal 25, and after you zone in and accept the lockout, then you change the difficulty up. What website would you trust to build a custom PC for you if you were buying a new one? So I have in the past bought from iBuyPower. Full disclosure, when I received, and this isn't sponsored, they didn't sponsor me, this was before I was even really much of a YouTuber, but when I received it, it didn't turn on because there was stuff just unplugged in the case. Now, that was fine for me because I knew what it was and I knew how to plug it in, so I just opened it up and plugged it in, everything was fine. But if you weren't sure how to troubleshoot a PC that doesn't turn on, if in the event that something happened in shipping, or if something had rattled around in there and broken, maybe not great, but that's the only one that I've actually personally tried that I could vouch for. I do think if I end up going that road again, I would probably do whatever kind of special, fancy, extra cushy shipping that they offer, because you don't want that. You don't want stuff rattling around your case. What do you think of the I don't know. Doghouse Systems. How are you today? Hi, Kidney Powers. I'm doing pretty good. What's in your rig right now? My rig's a little bit... some parts are pretty new and some parts are very old, and I'm dying to replace or rebuild it this fall after new NVIDIA stuff and new Threadripper comes out. So right now I'm running a 4th generation i7. It's a 4770K, but I never did overclock it. I have 16 gigabytes of very slow RAM. It's not very slow, but it's like 1600 megahertz, 1800 megahertz. It's not up to par with what's coming out these days. I've got a bunch of hard drives in there. I've got at least I've got 2 SSDs and then 1 hard drive. 2 SSDs, 1 HDD, and then 1 backup. I run a GTX 1070, which is one of the more recent things I got in there. I actually replaced the motherboard. I replaced the motherboard, but not the processor, like a year ago when I was having these weird, mysterious PC issues that eventually turned out to be randomly the graphics card. But motherboard's pretty new. What else is in there? I think the power supply is a 750 watt power supply. That one's fairly new because I replaced that when I was troubleshooting stuff. What else do people put in PCs? Oh, I really like Corsair Hydro water coolers. I've used, and I say that because I've had one of them, but it works real well. It works so well. It keeps things really cool. It's completely silent. It was so easy to install. Especially in this case. I installed it in a NZXT Phantom case originally, and that was really annoying. I had to actually like move some stuff to get it screwed onto the top. I had to like adjust. There was like some case cutting that had to be done there, or else I was just dumb, couldn't figure it out. Possible. It was my first build, but in this case, this is a Fantex Enthoo case. I really like that case. It's like $100. It's not terribly expensive. It's got a nice side panel. It was really easy to build in. I would and have bought it again. We upgraded my husband's PC last year, and he needed a case, and we just got that one because I already knew how to build in it, and it was real easy. Love your cup. I've got it in white. Nice. White is the only one that I don't have. I have the blue and the green one, and I thought about getting the white just to finish off my collection, but there's only 2 of us. Nobody's ever going to need the 3rd Murloc mug, and I clean them after I'm done with them so that I can use them again right away. How much time on average do you spend on promoting your channel? Do you seem to spend tons of time? Is this your only job? So this is my only job. I do spend tons of time on it. Pretty much all of my time that's not spent worrying about my animals or sleeping. And I do like sleep. As far as like promoting, I don't really spend any time anymore. Like I don't go out specifically advertising. But if you just mean like working on content for the channel, I do that. I do that a lot. Undergeared Antora Kuropa, wish me luck. Good luck. I hope you guys finish it. 6-core Intel CPU, so in the future I don't need to upgrade the GPU. Yeah. And next time I do PC, I'm definitely going real big on the processor for that reason. It's one of the most annoying things to replace. So like if you and they can, assuming that you don't get really unlucky, they will last a really long time. So yeah, going big. Love the fish can. Thank you. That's my buddy Flood. At the end of the stream, we'll feed him. He's gonna be hungry. He fasted yesterday. Any chance I could increase the chance of getting the Fox mount? I've been doing the armor training 19 times. No way to increase it. No, you just gotta get lucky. But to kill the Lich King to see if I can get invincible. Wish me luck. Good luck. Hazel goes straight to the Lich King. I do have a video that will specifically walk you through it step by step. How do you answer the same questions over and over? I mean, sometimes when it's something really basic that has like the info in the description already, I can get a little bit frustrated, but early on, actually, years ago, before I really started streaming really big, I was spending a lot of time practicing Resto Druid PvP and watching a bunch of Resto Druid streamers, and I was trying to like get some info on a talent to use. And I went into the channel of the streamer that I really admired, that I'd watched the stream a couple times, and I'd been there a few times, and it was good. And I asked him, and he said that it was that like I don't think it was even him. I think it was one of his mods that just told me quite rudely that info was already available, and then they just like moved on and never said anything about it. And because I'm sure that was a question that they got all the time, and I really should have checked all of the info for it first, but it still kind of hurt my feelings being really shut down like that when I was honestly looking for an answer. So I try, and it's probably impossible to be perfect, but I try not to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna get out of here, log over to the next one, and keep going. Have you been to the pet shop in Culturass yet, where you can pet all the puppies? I actually haven't. Can you help me out a bit? I'm planning to start streaming, missing a good headset. What kind of headset would you recommend for me? So, if at all possible, instead of a headset microphone, I would use a standing microphone. They're not that much more expensive. Like, a good headset is going to cost you about as much as a good microphone on a stand. Maybe not quite as much, but I think you're much better off with a microphone on a stand. And then whatever headphones you like, your headphones at that point will only be for sound, so they can be as nice or not nice as you want. It's not going to affect your stream quality. So I'm actually using the headphones that I'm using right now are not even gaming headphones. These are wireless audio headphones. People buy them just to listen to music. They're Bluetooth, so I can connect them to my phone or my tablet or my laptop or my desktop or my Apple TV. They connect to everything. But they don't have a mic on them because I didn't need one because I had this set up. So for a starter streamer mic, I think that you can do really well with like a blue snowball. If you have the extra money for it, you want to spend about $100, then I would go for. I'd say if your budget extends to $120, I would get a blue Yeti and I would get a stand. Getting the mic, like I know I just said a microphone that's not part of your headset, but getting it off the desk is huge for making the sound quality good, and you're going to sound so much better. Where am I going? I'm a flying bear. I am joining the group, and then I'm going to head to ICC. That's what I'm doing. Requesting, custom, find this one, sign up. Good. How did I get into Darnassus? What did I do yesterday? The fan and the water cooler make a bunch of noise? No, not really. It's been so long since I've had a non-water cooler that I couldn't tell if it's louder or quieter, but I could tell you that it's not that loud. I can't set it as heroic to begin with. I couldn't tell you the specific technical answer, but I do know that if you set it as heroic to begin with, it does bad things when you try and share the lockout. It has something to do with trying to maintain the lockout, but I couldn't tell you specifically what that is. How can I get the Fox mount? Any advice? You want to do the Withered Army training every 3 days in as many characters as you can. You want to do the Nightfall and Emissary whenever it's up on as many characters as you can. You want to keep checking your mission board because I believe it can actually come as an Order Hall mission item. And then you want to cross your fingers and hope you get luckier than me. I still don't have it yet either. Happy day after Canada Day. Thank you. Where'd you get cut from? The Blizzard Gear store sells these. Or they did. I don't know if they still do. Love your live stream on my way home from work, watching at the same time. I hope that you're not operating a vehicle while watching, but hope you make it home safe. Good luck with the mount hunt from Denmark. Thank you. If you're doing Family Familiar, does that mean you don't have the Nightmare Treant? That does mean that I don't yet have a Nightmare Treant. I know. I'm trying to just get it before. I'm trying to just get it out of the way before PFA. I've been seeing the channel at 98k subs for a while. It's driving me insane. Needs to get up to 100k. It's entirely my fault. I've had a couple of weeks where I've not been putting out the amount of videos that I need to be and that I should be and that I've been working on. He's so cute. The magic saucer to have your pets fly with you. Check off how did I get in Darnassus on your bingo card. Can the Dragon Souls normal still be lockout shared? I want to say no, but I can't confirm that, but I don't think so. Hi, Hazel Bread. How you doing? Longtime fan. Normally a pet collector at level 1. What's a good place to start powered leveling pets? Only have a few max level pets. So, Tamers, I mean, for one, and it's a little bit late in the expansion for this, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Actually, it's so late in the game that I'm not even gonna worry about going over it. I would say Tamers. My favorite for easy 2-pet beginner leveling is Ashley out in Draanor's Shadowmoon Valley. So Draenor, Shadowmoon Valley. This one right here, one of her pets doesn't even do anything, so you can 2-pet her with almost anything. Target leveling the pets first. That will allow you to do other 2-pet strategies. So I would say go 2-pet her and level the pets that are going to let you do her more easily first. And then level the pets that will let you do, like, for example, check out, like, the Vishar guide. Check out the Vishar guide, and then every day when you go do Ashley, you can just fly over to, my map keeps changing on me. Every time that you do Ashley, you can just fly over to Spirits of Arakti Vishar. I would also try and do a couple of pets that are just good for capturing and leveling pets. So something like a Grumpy is best for capturing pets. For leveling pets on wild pets, it's been the way I've done it for a long time, but the way I like to do it is with a Nether Ray Fry and then a pet that any pet with flying and beast move, and I like to do that out not far from where I am. I like to do that up here because there's a stable master right here. There's a bunch of dragon bone pets up here, and if you have those 2 pets, like a Nether Ray Fry, you don't have to have those 2, but with a Nether Ray Fry and with a pet with beast and flying, of which there are many, you can really easily 2-pet those wild encounters and level pets that way. Best bonus points if you're doing it during pet battling weekend. And then the other thing is, in the Draenor garrison, every now and then there's a tamer called Squirt that can be easily 2-pet for leveling. And every now and then, you'll hear about people talking about Squirt Leveling Day, and what that is when the Pet Battle Experience bonus event coincides with Squirt being available in the garrison. People will just set up in their garrison's camp all day, because you can repeat her. That's why she's so good. You can repeat her on the same character without logging over as many times as you want. So, people will just set up camp there and level as many pets as they can stomach in a day. And you get so many pets stuck in 580, it's just a matter of looking through what you don't have and figuring out something that's doable. No. How did that happen again? There's a site called Warcraft Pets that allows you to import, you know what? It's because I didn't kick this character, so we're gonna uninvite her. I forgot, that's what happened. So we uninvite her, we make sure we're normal 25. I think I'm fine because I didn't press that accept lockup button I was about to, and I don't think I did. Maybe I did, we'll see. No, I'm ruined. I can't do it in this character. I'm just gonna log over and do the next one. Darn, I do that in at least one character every week. Help people get theirs. You haven't got yours. Doesn't seem right somehow. If you're talking about me with the fox, then that's just because it's not like the universe hates me. It's because I haven't been grinding it. Subscribe to your channel. Thank you. Corsair water cooler was crazy loud. If I could do it over, I'd get a next Kraken water cooler. Oh, okay. Any luck with mount drops in the BFA beta? No, thank goodness. That would be not traumatizing, but that would hurt to see a rare mount drop and be like, I don't get to keep this. That's not something I get to keep. I mean, a Havoc Demon Hunter, I got the Warglaives, so why would I ever do the Mage Tower? Walking, not driving, but thanks. Anyone got the Avenging Fellcrusher? I have 2 of the 3 Fellcrushers. I think it's the Glorious one that I'm missing, so I think I have the Avenging, but I'm definitely still missing at least one. What about Family Fighter, Fellclaw Marsul? I do have that. I couldn't tell you if it was worth it to do that. I have a whole set of guides telling you exactly what strategies I used to do mine. Oh, and that was a thing and a half. That was rough. Alright, so I'm joining the group. So I think it's important to remember to remove the previous character before you walk in the raid, or else you can really mess things up. Love Super Squirt Leveling doesn't happen again until November 2nd. Fights to level 25 all day long. What are you doing today in the glorious world of Azeroth? Sup, Chainsy? I am doing invincible runs, or I'm trying to. Love the tattoo? Thank you. Turns out that dot heavy play is not for me. Swap to Destralock. Someday I'll level a Shadow Priest. Someday. Shadow Priest isn't as dot heavy as other dot classes. Like, there are dots, but I guess if you're not running Misery, it's pretty dot heavy, because then you have 2 to apply and reapply. Especially in BFA, there's going to be more dot reapplying in Shadow Priest than there is currently. Your druid got lead. Yeah, it's fine for the druid to get lead. She just needs to not run into the raid. Like, we're waiting for the druid to get lead. We're waiting for the current character to get lead. We just need to kick the one that just ran so that they're not still in the group. Is the tea good? It's alright. It's pretty good. The Yorkshire Gold is fairly inexpensive. I think it's English or British. I don't know the difference, to be quite honest with you. I bought it on Amazon. It's a very good, it's just a tea bag. It's just a tea bag black morning tea, but it's quite strong and it's good. How many mounts do you have? Okay, hang on. So now that I'm leader, kicking the druid, uninvite, and make sure it's raid difficulty normal 25, and that should do us. So I have just in my collection journal, it says that I have 383. If we're talking mounts that will count towards my my achievement count once the new things are added, then I have 331. That one in the Blessed Fell Crusher. Leveled a lot of mine in 2s with the two brothers in Valdestall using 1 Starlet. Oh, okay. Does Void Form disappear in BFA? No, Void Form's still there. Don't know how you haven't gotten it by now. Hurry up and drop, you stupid horse. What's the add-on that shows mount run attempts, and will it show kills previous to getting the add-on? That's rarity. For raid bosses, it will show kills previous because those are tracked within the statistics panel. For some other things, such as mounts from Paragon rep chests, it will not count previous attempts because those aren't tracked by the game in a way that add-on tracks anyways. Glad I caught a stream. I'm going to be in my car for 4 to 6 hours. This is a bit of happiness in my boring day. Road trip. Are they bringing back dot snapshotting? No, I don't think so. It's English from God's land, Yorkshire. All right. English. When I read the tea name, I thought it was a dog breed. It's probably a dog breed. There's somebody probably out there with a Yorkshire Gold Terrier, and then they sit there drinking their Yorkshire Gold tea with their Yorkshire Gold Terrier, and they feel very pleased with themselves. British is the whole of the Isles. England is one part of it. Okay. So what else? What other places are British but not English then? And I apologize if I sound terribly ignorant. I honestly want to know. They probably taught me that in school when I was growing up, and I probably just slept through that one. Alright, so now, like I said, we're raid, normal, 25. So my lockout should be fine when I zone in. Now, my hunter's been kind of ruined for, like, a couple of weeks, so maybe I'm just doomed on this one, but no. Man, I might have jinxed myself. This particular character has not been able to do it. What happens if I just leave the group? What happens if I just leave the group and then try and zone in, just out of curiosity? Because that time I technically did things correctly. I'm pretty sure. I must be doing something to break it. Yeah. So I'm not locked out. So if I leave... I'm willing to bet actually that my druid's not locked out either. Let's go restart the group on my mage. Get into it on my druid, because I'm pretty sure I never accepted the lockout. And try it again. I might be able to use these. I used your build from your video for my Shadow Priest. Major improvement for me. Thank you. No problem. If you're ever looking for future tips and advice that comes out a little faster in my videos, I strongly recommend the How To Priest website. Scotland. Britain is England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Okay. Ireland, Scotland, Wales. Scotland is British, but not English. Okay. Thank you. Reset the raid. We barely teach American history in school, let alone English history. I mean, I did go to school in Canada. I did get a good old Canadian education, which I think was pretty good. I learned French 1. I learned the first year of French like 6 times over, and I still don't remember any of it. Isle of Man counts as well. Main island, the Northern Island. Britain is just the main island, and England is England. Britain includes Wales. England is not. Okay. I can't promise I'm going to remember this, but I'm going to try. Can't get the Firelands mount to save my life. 53 attempts. Oh, no. I logged onto the wrong character. I need to get onto my bank hall. This is what happens when you name all your characters Hazel. You just don't know which one to log onto. You don't need the group anymore. No, I'm trying to continue to use that 11 to 12 lockout, though. I don't want to reclear the raid. What do you enjoy about playing as a Shadow Priest? I like being purple, I like spreading tentacles, and I really like the adrenaline feeling that you get from trying your darndest to extend your void form as long as you possibly can, because you start doing pretty good damage towards the end of it. But if something goes wrong or if you mess up and you exit void form like 5 or 6 seconds early, that really sucks. So you've got like this feel of real risk added towards the end of it as you're trying to really play optimally and get the most out of every void form as you can. And I've never quite gotten that adrenaline feeling the same way from other classes. All right, starting this again. Where were you in Canada? I live in Kingston, Ontario. I'm from Vancouver Island in British Columbia. Created a mage void elf about 4 months ago, gave up on her about 62, but now I have leveled to 103. Nice. Will you be playing Shadowpriest in BFA? I do plan on it. Make your own syrup? No. Honestly, when I grew up in Canada, the maple syrup that we just had on our waffles and our pancakes and whatever, we bought like Aunt Jemima. It wasn't even real maple syrup. When I came to America, everybody that's ever served me syrup has gone out of their way to find like the authentic, made in Canada, real maple syrup because they're really afraid of offending me. And I've had more authentic maple syrup in America than I ever got in Canada. Because you could get it in Canada for sure, but it was expensive compared to like fake maple syrup. And when you're just trying to put sugar on your breakfast, oops, that was just the straw. All right, so double check the lockout, should be just fine. Lockout is still, so Lich King's still available in the lockout. Good start. Pre-made, custom, start. No item levels. No voice chat, just private. List, auto. We're gonna try this on the Druid. I am going to ignore you guys until I get into this raid just so that I don't accidentally misclick something again. I couldn't even tell you what I misclicked. It's really hard to not look at the chat screen. And this will take a second. I have a little bit of a load-in time where my UI doesn't fully load in, and that's because of Trade Skill Master. It takes a second. I don't mind. It's worth it for me, but it's something to be aware of. What am I doing? Pre-made, custom, find, join. And now I have to wait for lead to pass over. All right. Wondered what England does on July 4th? Just go to a pub and cry? Why would they? In Canada on July 4th, nothing really happened. We didn't really worry about it. Ant, it's pronounced aunt. Different people do it different ways, I've found, even within a country. I always said ant. You're a weird Canadian, Hazel. What about bagged milk? Never saw bagged milk on the West Coast. Not once in my life. I can't say that it's not there everywhere, but it wasn't there where I was. Some mounts I have crazy luck with, some things I'll never get. I always have authentic maple syrup. We were also very frugal when it came to groceries growing up, so that may have had something to do with it. I also grew up eating exclusively margarine and never real butter, to the point that I now prefer margarine, and butter is like annoying and hard to spread. It's just what I grew up with. It was cheaper. Good evening. I have a question. I want to level some pets, wondering what the best booster pet would be. It really depends on where you want to level the pets. If you're just looking for a pet that's good in many two-pet strategies, you want something like an Anubis Ath Idler or a Mechanical Pandaren Dragonling. If you're looking for a pet to level pets out in the wild and you're like planning on a specific spot, I always like leveling out here with a Netherray Fry, and the reason for that is the pets that you're encountering are going to be flying type pets, and the Netherray Fry. Am I sorting? There we go. The Netherray Fry. Or Fledgling Netherray, either one. They have magic damage, which takes down the flying pets. They also have flying, which will take down the frogs, which you also get around here. And then you don't need the third move, but you can take those two move types. And because you're flying, you take less damage from beast abilities, and they're using beast abilities at you. So that's just a very efficient pet to use in that place. And they have good damage too, so you can usually chunk through them. Another reason why I like leveling pets in that spot is because sometimes, a lot of the time, they use moves in the first round that won't kill your level 1 pet. Not always. Sometimes you do have to restart, but there is a Stable Master right there. So now that I'm lead, raid difficulty, normal, 25, zone in. This should only ask me to accept the 11 of 12 lockout. It should. Fingers crossed. There we go, 11 of 12. Okay, I don't know what I did before, but I fixed it. I only use TSM on a bank ult just to save the load times. I considered that, but I really like features like this that tells me how many of a thing that I have across my different characters. I understand that Altaholic will also do that, but I never set that up. And then the other thing is market prices and tooltips. Like, I don't want to have to wait until my bank ult to figure out, oh hey, I can sell this Swiftness Potion for 25 gold. I like having that info really close on hand. Do you have the Celestial Cat from the Mad Merchant? I actually do. And I don't even regret it. It's a really pretty pet. Also, I'm pretty sure Celestial Calf. So it was only supposed to, maybe they fixed it. But it was only supposed to put this moon over your head when you summoned it. But I found that the moon stays over your head permanently while you have the pet summoned. I don't know if they changed that on purpose, or maybe it was bugged and they just left it, because I figured people spent 1,000,000 gold for this battle pet, you may as well let them have a moon. But anytime I have that pet out in any character, I have this little moon over my head, and that's pretty cool. That's pretty neat. Got to go. Good luck, Hazel. See you. Thanks. Keep butter in a butter dish in your counter, makes it more spreadable. Yeah, I know. But then you have, like, dairy products just out in your counter. And I'm sure it's safe because people have been doing it for hundreds of years, and it's fine, but it weirds me out. Also, it's getting really warm around here lately. It'll get, like, 27, 28 degrees in the house. Celsius. Which is warm. It'll mush your butter up. Why did you decide to move to America? I met somebody and later got married and wanted to live with my husband. Now I'm craving pancakes. Waffles, in my opinion, always superior to pancakes. To the point that I don't even really like pancakes. I'll eat them. I don't hate them. They're not gross. But, like, I would rather have sourdough toast at that point. I really like sourdough toast. But waffles are where it's at. Time walking ICC, become a thing in BFA, is a good chance. Margarine is going to be illegal. Stock up, girl. Is it? Why? Isn't it just canola oil? Like, hardened? Maybe it's not. I have no idea how they make it. Port to Pandaria, take the dollar and port from Shrine. It's close than Wormrest. It's closer than Wormrest Temple? It is closer, but it's 2 loading screens. My loading screens are long enough that I'd rather just fly. Also, it's an extra step for me to, like, get stuck on and confused at while I'm trying to stream. 1,000,000 gold? Yeah. So, who wants to hear my sad, frustrating fish stories? Because I want to talk about them. I've had, like, over the last week and a half, it's been a lot of crazy stuff. And I should probably preface these stories by saying that I'm still glad that I'm getting into fish. I still want to keep fish. I don't regret getting fish. But oh my goodness, it's been a time. So Flat is still fine, and the new fish that I showed in the vlog is still fine. So that's nothing to worry about there. They're fine. I get the cherry barbs, the original cherry barbs, on not last Friday, but the Friday previous, like a week and a half ago now. And they're acting a little funny. There were 2 tanks of cherry barbs in the store, and she said, you don't want them from this tank. Those ones, they're sick. They're fighting off an infection. We're going to get you cherry barbs from the healthy tank. I was like, great. So we get cherry barbs from the healthy tank. They're not acting super normal at first, but I'd never had them before. I don't really know what normal looks like. They're mostly hiding. They're not swimming around a whole lot. They're mostly kind of swimming in place. But I assume that they're just nervous. They're new to the tank. They'll settle in. It'll be fine. They're not eating a whole lot, but, you know, they're nervous. They're new to the tank. They'll settle in. It'll be fine. So I don't worry about it. A couple days go by, and I find one of them dead. And that's very sad, but they were very stressed out, and I figured they're just, you know, there's not quite enough of them now because there was only 4 left. I originally bought 5. There's not quite enough of them. You know, it's stressful. It's new. The tank parameters are all good. It was fully fishlessly cycled, so there's 0 ammonia, 0 nitrites. Nitrates were around like 5. The pH was right about 7.2. I acclimated them very gently. It should have been just fine, but one of them died. And I was like, all right, well, it happens. So the remaining ones, there's only 4, and they're looking a little skittish now. So we decided to get a couple more to beef up their school size to help them settle in and be less stressed so that they're not as likely to get sick. So we go back to the same story, pick up 3 more, and then we have 7. And a couple days go by. They're still acting kind of funny. They're still not super eating. Billy Wood, thank you very much for becoming a sponsor. Welcome to the Squirrel Squad. Oh no. Oh, I forgot to change the difficulty. You're right. Oops. Yeah, well, we're not getting invincible this run. Oh well. But yeah, so we have 7 barbs at that point. They're not super eating, but, you know, some of them are doing good. There's a couple of them that are still hiding, but a couple of them are playing the filter and they're looking a little better, but they're not eating a whole lot. And then a couple days later, another one dies. And at that point, I'm starting to get a little bit concerned. And later that night, a 3rd one starts swimming really bad. Like, he's having buoyancy problems. He's kind of rolling over on his side. He's, like, swimming in circles. He looks hilarious, but, like, awful. He does not look like he's going to last long. So I try and help that one first. We call him Wonky Boy because he's a male fish and he was swimming real wonky. We give Wonky Boy a little bit of an Epsom salt bath, which I heard could help because at that point we were like, maybe it's just constipation. He's got a swim bladder problem. Epsom bath didn't kill him, but it also didn't help. And at that point, I don't want to put him back in the main tank because he's clearly having problems. And and I don't want to put him back in the main tank, and I don't want to let him, like, if he died in there overnight and I didn't pull him out very fast, that would be bad. So I sit him with the snails overnight, and he just kind of wonks around in the snail tank for a night. In the morning, he's still okay. He's not looking good, but he's still okay, and that was Saturday morning. He's alive, but he's not really swimming much. He's kind of laying on his side, he's gasping. Every now and then he just, like, flops really pathetically, but he doesn't look good. And then another fish from the main tank died. I'm like, well, these have got something gnarly. These fish are not okay. And I did, at that point, what I should have done originally, which was quarantine. So I actually went out on Saturday, and I get a 10-gallon quarantine/hospital tank, because it's better late than never, and I need to get these fish out, because I had added in the gourami at that point. I didn't want them to infect her if she didn't have it already. So we set up this 10-gallon quarantine tank. We move over one of the sponge filters so it's cycled. Move the remaining barbs in there, and I can actually show you. It's like over there. So there, I've got an extra 10-gallon tank, and start medicating them. I didn't want to medicate them unless it was necessary, but they kept dying, and were clearly not doing well, and the clean water wasn't happening. They weren't eating, so we decided to hit them with a couple of general medications. They're doing general cure and erythromycin, which contains prazocontal and metronidazole. So some parasite meds and some bacterial meds in a plan. And they're not doing so good. Those ones are still sick. We've been losing one every other day or so. We have 4 left now, including Wonky Boy, actually. That was the one hopeful point in this story, is that Wonky Boy... So I moved him into that tank, along with the rest of them, and he was still laying on the bottom for a while, and I thought for sure he was just going to not make it. And then he flips himself up. And he starts flipping along, and then within, like, a couple of hours, he's swimming, not normally, but he's swimming upright again, like he can actually right himself, and I was so proud of him. And he's still going. He hasn't died yet. 2 of his buddies have died since then, but he's still okay. So we're finishing their treatment. If any of them make it, then we'll keep an eye on them for, like, 3 weeks after they're finished their treatment before we put them back. If none of them make it, then we'll just sterilize the tank, start over. What am I doing? I need to try and run it on this character on heroic, so I'm going to... Oh, no, we're right. We're trying to join the group. I'm being distracted by my fish story, but I need to get it out of my system. I need to share. So right now, at the point we're at, we're halfway through the treatment. We have 4 living fish back in there. 3 of them look all right. I had fasted them for a couple days in case they had something in their gut, and then today I gave them a pea soaked in garlic guard, which is good for their immune system, and a little bit anti-parasitic, but there are also anti-parasitic meds in the tank. And 3 of them ate it and were chasing each other around looking a lot better. 1 of them did not even notice the food. She might not do okay. But yeah, I now have a quarantine tank in my office, and it's gonna, like, because the very first fish that I bought ended up being so sick, next time I do fish, I am going to keep them in that tank, after sterilizing them, of course. I'm going to keep them in that tank for a month. 4 weeks of quarantine before anything touches that main tank. So that was fish story number 1. I'll catch up in chat for a second, and then I'll tell you fish story number 2. Okay. So... uninviting the druid, making sure we are on normal 25, which we are because I forgot to bump it up. I'm going to zone in, I'm going to bump it up, and then I'm going to check chat, and then I'm going to finish my story. No, not 12 of 12. No, I didn't kick the wrong character. No. Let me restart the group. I'm having troubles with this today. Hazel, sorry, I'm late. Hey, late night. How can you tell if a fish is male or female? It depends on the fish. Some of them are more easily identifiable than others. These are cherry barbs, so they're very easy to see. The males are red, and the females are brown with a white belly. With other fish, you'll notice changes, like differences in the fin shape or differences in their vent. And with some fish, it's extremely hard to tell. It depends on the type of fish. Maybe they're young, got stressed and overwhelmed. They've had some other symptoms that lead me to believe that they have either a parasite or a bacterial infection, most likely parasites. They have swim bladder issues, they're having trouble with their buoyancy, their tails are floating up higher than their heads. They are, any pooping that they are doing, this is gross, but it's like white and stringy, which is another parasite sign. They're just kind of twitching. They're not rubbing on anything. There's no visible ick and there's no visible lesions. So my guess is internal parasites, which what we're treating them for should help with. But cherry barbs are usually pretty tough. And because I climated them really gently, it's unlikely that just stress would nuke like 5 of them, especially because it didn't happen all at once. It's been happening like 1 every couple of days over the course of the week. I lost a gorgeous angelfish to hole in the head disease a couple weeks ago. I hope you have better luck. That's really sad. I'm sorry. Tuning in from Sweden. Hope you're all right. I'm doing all right. I'm doing all right. What are the nuts for? Nothing. Hazel's Fishtails. Hazel viewing from England. Hello. Wonky Boy starring in a new Disney movie soon. I really hope he makes it. We shouldn't get too attached to Wonky Boy, because Wonky Boy could still very well die. Whatever they have, it's not good. We can't get too attached to Wonky Boy, but so far he's looking as good as any of the other ones after his incident with his buoyancy problems. All right, starting a group. Trying this again. Dying from the heat. Hope the fish do better. Thoughts on Teskar? I wouldn't play them. It'd be cool, but it's one of those things where I don't know if there's enough demand for them to make it worth adding them, because there's not a limited number, but it's probably best if they don't go insanely ham with adding allied races, because if there's just too many options, it's going to be just too hard to pick. Finally caught one of your streams. Welcome. Fell Flame Pet. The Fell Flame Pet is a wild-caught pet in Outlands Shadow Moon Valley. It's a very good one to get. 28 subs to my channel, Hazel. I feel so proud. Nice. Don't forget to put it on Heroic this time. I will do my best. I will do my best. World of Fish. Skip my podcast to see your live stream. Wow. Already attached to Wonky Boy. Oh no. Don't get too attached to Wonky Boy. He might not make it. I was very upset when the first fish died, and I'm still upset, but I'm more upset in the I want to fix this and do all of this in a responsible manner that's best for all of the animals. I can't cry every time one of them dies. They're just like, I love them and I'm doing my best by them, but if I'm gonna keep fish, I need to be a little bit more emotionally hardened. Just a little bit. I have learned a lot about biosecurity and sterilizing stuff. I'm making sure I cleaned all of my equipment, all of my nets, the bucket, and the siphon, everything yesterday, to make sure that I'm not putting anything in Floodus tank. Anything planned for hitting 100k subs? I'm gonna do reacting to my first videos, and I'm also going to try to release some merch. The merch may or may not be on time with the 100k. I've had some delays there, but I'll definitely do the video for sure. Popped in from Australia. Welcome. Greetings from the Netherlands. All right, so second fish story. This was just yesterday. Actually, no, hang on. Let's back up to the day before yesterday. Day before yesterday, we noticed some water on the cabinet in the living room underneath the big 20-gallon long tank that houses Chromie. And I'm like, well, that's not good. It's kind of dripping off the back. I'm like, oh no, my tank is leaking. And it's not leaking much. Like, it's a very small puddle, to the point where it could have just been a splash from when I had cleaned the tanks the day before. But the furniture they're sitting on has been supporting it very well, but it's IKEA furniture. It's made of particle board. If it gets too wet, it's bad news bears. So we decided we needed to get something else underneath it. So we went to Home Depot. We got a piece of plywood custom cut. We had to get it under the tank, so that meant moving the fish, draining all of the water. I kept the filter running in the tank that I'd moved the fish to keep it good, and draining all the water, getting the new board under the tank so that we were reinforcing the stand. And I figured, all right, you know, it was probably just a splash at that point. We kind of ruled out a leak from the main tank because nothing seemed to be really coming out of it. But we still wanted to dry underneath it, so we get that all reinforced. And then yesterday, raid difficulty normal 25. Yesterday, I'm in the morning checking on my fish, and there's more water on the thing, and it's right underneath the snail tank. It's coming out of the snail tank. I don't know if we broke it when we moved it, or if it was always leaking, and if it was what caused the water before. But all right, there we go. We're good. So 25 normal. Raid difficulty, 25 heroic. But indisputably, the tank that housed my snails and cherry shrimp was leaking. Indisputably. At that point, well, that sucks. I'm not terribly, I'm concerned, but the water, it's just like a very slow drip. It hadn't really gotten even onto the floor yet. It was just on that plywood, which was intended to be water. Okay. So I wipe it up, drain the tank. I didn't have time to get another one. I didn't really want another one. I was kind of over having a separate tank just for the two snails and the shrimp. The shrimp have been doing fine, but they're, that whole tank, especially trying to keep them in a 3.5 gallon, was starting to turn into more trouble than it was worth. It was like I was cleaning it every second day because it was too small for them. I wanted to move them into something bigger anyways. So I moved them into the tank, the 20-gallon long with Chromie, both snails and the 6 shrimp that we have left because 2 of them had died earlier. So I put 2 snails and 6 shrimp in that big tank, drained the snail tank, and basically threw it out because it's a 3.5 gallon tank. I'm never going to put anything else in there. It was a weird shape and it was leaking. Threw it out. And that was all fine. And the snails were settling in very well to the big tank. They seemed to really enjoy the room. And the shrimp, and I should have seen this coming, this is completely my fault. Shrimp are a food that is very much enjoyed by many fish that are big enough to eat shrimp. And I kind of thought that, you know, she might snack on some of the smaller ones, Chromie in there. She might snack on the smaller ones. She might not. Some of them might make it. There's lots of places to hide. It might be okay. And then in the afternoon, I noticed that my fish was looking pretty thick, and I couldn't see many shrimp. I could only find like 1 shrimp. I was like, oh no, did you just eat 5 shrimp? And also fish TMI, but she was like continually pooping. In a healthy manner, but she was definitely doing some digesting. So she's fasting today because I think she had a really big and slightly expensive snack. I actually found a second one, so there's at least 2 shrimp that are still kicking around in there. And I haven't seen her snap at them yet, but it's possible that maybe she just looked a little thick and that they're all in there and that they're all hiding. You're never going to find them in a big tank like that. But I may not have shrimp anymore. I may just have snails. Got a notification it was in the shower. A new tune named Wonky Boy. What are you going to main in BFA? Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest. Hey Hazel, how you doing today? I'm alright. Hey Hazel, poor fishies. The Gourami had a 5-star gourmet meal yesterday. She's doing great. Good luck in the mountain. Thanks, Summer. And the snails are very happy. And Flood is doing good. The sick ones are still sick, but they might pull through. They might do alright. And if they don't, I now have the equipment that I need to properly quarantine any new fish before I add them to the tank so that we can treat them if they have anything. And if they don't, that's fine. We can just observe them. But I now have everything. I was trying to avoid setting up a quarantine tank because I only have 2 tanks anyways. I just kind of wanted to set up the community tank and then be done. But it was important. Main Hunter. Alright. Thank you for listening to Fish Stories with Hazel. I feel better having shared that. But that's where I'm at. I have 4 sick fish over there. I have 1 super cool betta on camera right there. I have 1 slightly fat honey gourami named Chromie in the other room. 2 happy snails. Some amount of less happy shrimp. And we're doing alright. It does mean that I'm not going to be able to get any more fish for a while. I need to, if these are going to make it, then it's going to be at least 3.5 weeks before I move them out of there because I would finish their treatment and I would monitor them in that tank for 3 weeks to make sure that they're good before moving them back. And then after that, I would need to sterilize the tank, clean it out, dry it out, set it up again to quarantine new fish for another month. So it's going to be ages before anything else goes in that other big tank. Which is why I felt okay about putting the snails in there. The snails may reach the end of their natural lifespan before I actually get that tank fully stocked. It's my birthday today. May that bring you good mount drop luck. Happy birthday! I hope you have an awesome day. Shrimp cocktail. So much for the idea that fish are easy to care for. I mean, nothing that I've done has been difficult. Some things have been more expensive than I anticipated, but I also got very unlucky by buying a group of fish that were quite sick. But nothing has been hard. It's been a very valuable learning experience. I've been learning a lot about how to, taking care of the fish and keeping their water clean, how to clean their tank without crashing the cycle, learning about the cycle, learning about biosecurity and trying to not transmit parasites and bacteria between tanks, learning how to sterilize my equipment. Good stuff. Would you ever add any snails to flood his tank? He has 1 snail in there. There is 1 nearite snail in there, which are the only type of snails that I would recommend for betta tanks. He previously spent some time with the 2 snails that are out there. But they have very long, wiggly, cephalic tentacles, like they're long, wiggly feeler things, and they look like worms, and Flutta bites them, and he tears them off, which is just mean. So he doesn't live with snails anymore. He's a very territorial fish. If I had him in a 20-gallon tank, I might be able to put him with something else so that he felt less territorial. But he's good in that tank. He's finally sort of set up. His fins are finally back. He's finally just in a good rhythm where everything seems okay, so I'm not going to mess with it. Even with the 1 tank, as you've learned, quarantine tanks are important. Everyone learns the quarantine tank the same way you did. Yeah. On one hand, I wish it hadn't had to learn that quite so early, but on the other hand, it's probably good that I did learn it really early before I bought a bunch of really expensive fish. I am still really hoping that whatever they had, they did not transmit to my gourami because I love her. She is precious and adorable, and even though she may have eaten all of my shrimp, I still love her. So I'm hoping that she's going to be fine. She seems fine. She's eating fine. I did add a little bit of dewormer to that big tank. Pretty mild. I added some Prozi Pro a little bit this week, and then I'll do a little bit more in 1 more week, just so that if there is any tapeworms, anchor worms, that kind of thing, that those will be taken out. But I think it's going to be fine. You've convinced me to never get fish. It's so much fun, though. I know it doesn't sound fun, and it's a little bit frustrating and stressful when there's problems, but man, when it's all set up, even just cleaning the aquarium, I know that's not everybody's favorite thing to do, but I find it really relaxing. It's very zen, and it looks so good when it's done, and your fish are all happy because they got clean water, and then you feed your fish, and they're all They're all begging you, and like if you're weird in your head, you can imagine that they're worshiping you as like the food dispersing power. I don't know, I love fish. I'm really excited to have a proper tank running in there, but I am willing to be patient to make sure that I do it right and don't get any of my fish any sicker than they were when I caught them. I'm hoping some of those guys pull through. If they don't, I might not do cherry barbs. I might do something else. I know cherry barbs are supposed to be very easy and very hardy, but clearly I've had a bad experience the first time. Okay, so we're logging into the next group. How do you pronounce Yorkshire? I pronounce it Yorkshire. My grandfather is from England, or my grandfather's mother was from England, but they make Yorkshire puddings on holidays. And that's always how I do it. Do your fish know you have favoritism? I don't know if they do. My cat kind of does. Whenever I'm paying too much attention to a fish, she's going to come over and ask for some pets. Private fish shops or private sellers, way better than commercial stores. I did buy them from a private fish shop. I looked around and shopped in some different places until I found a place where I was satisfied with how they were keeping the fish. I was satisfied that the employees knew about the fish and were fish people. It's just a fish store. It's not a pet store. It's not a chain. It's unfortunate that the fish were sick. I'm definitely going to be asking some more questions about whether or not they quarantine and if they pre-treat their fish and where they get them from. But I definitely didn't like Flutta. I got from a PetSmart because that was back when I was still very much learning about fish and I was very new to it. He's been pretty good, but I got from a private fish store in the past. And I still think it's not necessarily the fish store's fault, but I will definitely ask some more questions. Pre-made custom, fine, do. Let's see if we can do this without remaking the group completely. At least I've managed to actually get kills on my characters. I know I forgot to change the difficulty on the druid one, but we'll see. Got a fish, congrats on the green card, thank you! Once you learn doing fish, I'd recommend trying a guppy tank. I love breeding them to see what colors the babies come out with. I'm hesitant about that because, about any live bearers, because I don't have it in my heart to give away fish, and I don't know if I have it in my heart to let other fish eat fish. So I would end up with all of these baby fish, and I would be like, I can't keep any more baby fish. But if I bring them to the fish store, what if they're adopted by somebody who just sticks them in a bowl? It would be hard for me. Cardinal Tetra for the 20 gallon. Cardinal Tetras almost happened. They almost happened, and then I bought cherry barbs, and clearly I should have bought the Cardinal Tetras. I don't know about them though. Tetras just like, the cherry barbs look like more of like a fish. I know Cardinal Tetras also look like fish, but Tetras just don't seem to have a whole lot of personality. Maybe they do. Fish god complex. I had fish once, but got so frustrated with the little snails, I had to stick my hand out and remove them. If I ever end up with a snail infestation, I'm going to take that as a sign from the universe that I should totally set up a dwarf puffer tank, because you can just feed the snails to your dwarf puffer. It's probably easier to just throw out the snails, but... Oh, speaking of gross snail stuff. Not that gross. I had for the longest time assumed that I had 2 male snails because I had never seen them lay eggs. When mystery snails lay eggs, mystery snails are great snails to keep because they're not going to just reproduce willy-nilly in your aquarium. When they do reproduce, what they do is they like to get above the water line and lay clutches of eggs in a humid space like the hood of the tank. And they hadn't done that for the whole time I'd have them, despite them being very happy and well-fed, so I assumed that I just had 2 dudes. And the day before the snail tank leak, I opened the lid when I'm cleaning it, and I catch them, and it freaked me right out, because I knew I should have been expecting it, but I hadn't been looking for them because I thought I had 2 males. And clutches of mystery snail eggs kind of look like a tiny brain. They're pink, and, well, these ones were pink, and they were all clumped together, and they were all stuck to the lid like an alien. And it grossed me right out. Like, if you want the snails, you can just leave them there, but it'll make a lot of baby snails, so it's best if you don't want them to, just pry them out, throw them out. And then you won't get baby snails. So I took some, like, I put on gloves, and then I took super long, like, 10-inch tweezers to get them off, because I was just so grossed out by what was happening, but I knew I needed to get rid of them. Because there were 3 clutches up there. I hadn't been checking, so there were 3 clutches up there. And now that they're in the big tank, I'm hoping that if I just keep the water level high enough, they won't lay anymore, because it was so gross. You'd think that feeding the fish the live worms would have grossed me out more, but no. No, snail eggs, that's what did it. It's not a thing that I mind, per se. It's fine. It's very natural. It's not like an unclean tank or anything. There's nothing bad going on there. I just wasn't expecting alien eggs in my life. Alright, I am now leader. I am removing my hunter from the group. I'm making sure we are a normal 25. I'm not 100% convinced this is gonna work. I've been having such lockout difficulty problems. Extra fish, hungry cat. Oh, man. You know what's weird is if I had like a big fish like an Oscar or something, I could consider... There we go. I could consider feeding extra fry to a big fish, but I would never feed them to my cat. And I couldn't tell you what the difference is, but I would never feed them to my cat. That seems weird and gross. But, like, putting them in a big fish tank and being like, good luck, buddies, and then, you know, the circle of life happens. That seems more natural. I don't know why. Wooster is the correct pronunciation since there's no Chester in the name. Wooster. May just have any movement speed legendaries. I don't know. I'm doing the dwarf puffer thing. I have so many Malaysian trumpet snails, I don't know what to do with them. Yeah. I've gone back and forth on doing dwarf puffers, but I think if I do them, it won't be while I live in this house. I have too many tanks, especially now that with the even without the snail tank, but now with the quarantine, I have too many aquariums. I need to chill. No dwarf puffers for a bit. Maybe eventually, but they can be a little bit more finicky. Some of them will only eat live food. Most of them, I'm stuck. My character won't move. Oh, there we go. Some of them will only eat live food. Some of them are picky like that. Most of them should take frozen food. Most of them should take frozen bloodworms. But I've read that every now and then you buy one that's just like, no, give me live snails or I will die. And they're scaleless fish, so they can be more sensitive to water quality. So that's something I would like to do when I'm less new, because I'm pretty new. I only got Fleta in like April, and it's only June, and I've gotten a little out of hand. We had a saltwater tank. It was expensive. We had some gorgeous fish though. Saltwater scares me. How many cats do you have? Just one, oddly enough. We're only allowed to have 2 pets in this apartment that are like 2 land pets. So we have 1 dog, 1 cat, and that's it. Stop paying attention to chat for a second. Thought somebody's putting dogs. Oh no. Feed parasite infested fish to house cat. Yeah. Add on that you use to track your kills with the Lich King. Rarity. Where did you get your Bettis tank? His tank is from PetSmart. It's a 5-gallon. Where you get the tank from and what style it is, I think wouldn't really matter as long as it's at least... You can keep Bettas in a 2.5-gallon, but it's going to mean more frequent water changes. It's actually harder to do. The 5-gallon's not that big, and I think it's a really good size for a Betta. Can we call this an ICC stream? We could. What is your stance on Subtlety Rogue? I think they're fine. I don't play them. Is that what I'm doing right now, or am I Assassination? I always go Assassination whenever I have to play Rogue, just because I have a vague feeling that some of these buttons are going to do some damage. I don't know which buttons on Subtlety do damage. I have no idea. Absolutely none. So I put a bleed up on him, and I'm going to get some more points. I pressed that button, which makes me do some damage. Fan of Knives will help me get rid of the ghouls. I know just enough buttons to get me through the Lich King, and that's all I really need from my Rogue. It's lockpicking, lockboxing. Lockboxing? That's not a word. And then enough... Alright, so I'm not going to get hit by the Ice Sphere. I'm not going to get hit by the Ice Sphere. I'm not going to get hit by the Ice Sphere. There we go. Whew. And enough buttons to get through the Lich King. Man, it's already 10:15. I've been having like lockout problems. No, you're not going to get me like that. Nope. Nope. Maybe they will get me like that. I think I have a dot on him that's gonna get him. There we go. There we go. Now he's good. Standard mount runs. You doing any last minute pre-BFA stuff? Standard mount runs. That's about it. I'm gonna have to find some time. I'm gonna find some time to do Family Familiar tonight. Her cat is a non-fishy eater, though. I mean, she has fish in her cat food. Like, I think her cat food contains some salmon, I want to say. I don't know. But she doesn't pay too much attention to the fish. I have been keeping an eye on the quarantine tank specifically because with the other tanks, there's no place that she can sit, like, that's right next to them. But with that one, just because of where I had to put it, because my apartment is actually out of room, I had to put it so there's the couch, and then there's the table right next to the couch, so she can sit on the couch and look into the tank. I caught her doing that once, but she was just kind of looking... And I just kind of shoot her away from it, and that was the end of that. I had a Betta since 2015. He died since summer 2016. Aww. Since watching your streams, I was wanting more fish. I had a Betta, got a bigger tank, and 6 corridors. They've been living together for 4 days, all still alive and happy. Nice. I'm glad that you got enough quarries to be happy together. 5 consecutive losses. Poison on the Rogue. Oh, I thought I had poisons. I put them up like 3 weeks ago. Why are they gone? Why not just nuke him down? You mean boxlocks? Larger the tank is easier to maintain a healthy tank as long as you have enough filtering. Exactly. If you put your back to the steps, the icy sphere will not be an issue for you. That is a good idea. No clue what to do once I reach 110 with my female orc monk. I'd say your step 1 is going to be to do the artifact retirement thing to get your weapon instantly boosted up. And then your step 2 is to chill and wait for the pre-patch. That's about it. Finally got the Drake of the East win. 124 Vortex Pinnacle runs. Man, I bet that feels good to be done. Love my golden retriever. She is a sweetheart. I love all my animals. They're all really good. The dog is a little bit more of a problem child than any of the other ones, but he's still a good boy. He's just got some real bad anxiety. He does alright. He likes me best when I leave him alone. That's all he really wants from people, is to leave him alone. Oh, man. Weirdest World Cup ever. Nearly all the big teams are gone. Taught myself how to Demon Hunter tank last night so I could have another go at farming midnight. Alright, let's see. So this is attempt number 89. No good. I'm assuming that Rarity and other things are going to just, like, make loud noises at me when it does drop, so. It would be really cool if it had dropped today. I guess I don't need to run out of the raid because I'm gonna need to take all of these characters to, Durian and Morale today to do 2 more Tamers worth of Family Familiar. Oof. Oh, and there's the invasion up. I really need to manage my time better. I really want to be a person that's just on top of everything. Like, I want to come here and stream and have somebody suggest something that I should do and be like, oh yeah, I'm already 2 weeks into that. I want to be, like, make plans and have them happen within the time frame I set out for them. That would be cool. I just want to be a little bit more on the ball. When is the pre-patch plan to hit? No confirmed date. The July 10th, 11th-ish, like next Tuesday is probable, with the following Tuesday-ish being the next most likely bet. It's clearly not today, so probably a week from now, if not 2 weeks from now. Somewhere in there. Custom find. Joining my group. Hopefully this works. What raid is next for you? You mean like to run? If we get Invincible, I will probably move my characters out to Tempest Keep to start running for the Ashes of Alar mount. I don't have that one yet. So that one is one where we wouldn't really need to lockout share, so it would just be a matter of logging on to each character, running through the raid, and back. Hazel for having conversation over your combo, no problem. All good. Second month playing this game, pretty overwhelmed by all the content to do. It's very overwhelming, but the nice thing to remember is that most of it's not going anywhere. There's plenty of people that play WoW that are doing things that are just, you know, that were added to the game ages ago just because they feel like it, so just look at things that you kind of want, like maybe there's a mount that you think looks really cool that you'd like to work towards, maybe you want to like top up your reps, maybe you want to collect pets, maybe you want to try and get gear or practice your class so that you can join a good raid. You know, just figure out a goal. It doesn't matter what it is. Doesn't matter if anybody else thinks it's cool. Figure out something that sounds good to you. Work on doing that. Don't worry about anything else. It's so easy to get overwhelmed with all of the things going on in WoW. I like picking goals. I was about to get bored of WoW till I found your channel. Love your stream. Hope you enjoy it. Thanks, Shady. With Rarity, a notification like when you complete an achievement will pop up when the mount drops. I thought so. I feel like I've seen those recently because I was farming some toys on other characters and I had a couple of them drop and I think I remember looking like that. I haven't had my toy farming mage character parked anywhere recently because I can't think of any other rares. Like, unless I took her to, like, Argus or something. I'm still missing a bunch of Argus mounts. I thought I had more of them. Apparently, I don't have the Wrangler Kravos mount. I don't have that Maddened Chaos Runner. I don't have the... Like, here. I don't have... I feel like I've done a lot of Argus. I clearly haven't. So, I don't have the Biletooth Gnasher. I don't have the Maddened Chaos Runner. Which one do I have, actually? Do I not have any of the bouncy ugly dudes? I don't... There's another one that's like that. That drops from, like, that dude. Okay, no, I do have a Vile Fiend. So I have the Houndmaster Karax one, but I'm missing a couple of mounts. Should I even bother doing Legion Flying? If you're the type of person that likes to play alts, I would. Because it's really nice to have flying for the expansion when you're leveling other stuff through there. If you're just gonna, if you've always played one character, you're only gonna play the one character, you're gonna get through it and never go back, then don't worry about it. But I always like to do the flying for all the expansions, just, I mean, it's more convenient for me because I did them when they were current, but I would still go back and do them so that I have access to them when I'm leveling future alts through those zones. So, uninvite this character. Normal, 25. I really like my Netherwing Drake, mostly because of the grind to get it. Already have Ashes since May. You're toy cramming. Husband ran Tempest Keep for months to get ashes. You got it in 2 runs. I've never seen such jealousy and hate in a pair of eyes. Oh, man. Happens. Definitely happens. I keep finding it, man, like, when my husband and I are running around Argus doing World Quest to try and get him his Argesian Retrip, I keep being like, oh, we should kill this rare. It drops him out that I don't have yet. And he's like, huh, I have that one. I'm like, how? You quit the game for, like, 2 patches. How did you get that? You played Argus for, like, a day before you left. And it's like, it's more than one of them. I think he has almost all of the Argus mounts after barely any playtime. Alright, I am Heroic 25. It's, he just got really lucky and it upsets me. Vile Fiend. Vile Fiend. Yeah, I have the Vile Fiend. Ashes is pretty, but I want to recolor with voidish type colors. Like, so hang on. So Ashes looks like that. Is there not a... What's wrong with that one? Is it like you want a fluffier one that's got less definition? Because I always thought that was the Void Ashes, basically. It's a purple phoenix. It's a purple phoenix. That was kind of that. Maybe you're looking for something else. How many Paragon mounts do you have? I have all but the Valorjar one. Valorjar. I have every one except for that Stormdrake. I have all of the rest of them. I go through phases of doing all of the world quests in that zone on 2 characters, and then phases where I'm like, I don't have time for that. It's not happening. When do you think 8.0 will hit live servers? My guess, and this is based on guessing, it is a guess, right around here, 10th, 11th, depending on where you are and what time it is when it happens, but yeah, my guess is next week. Guessing. If not next week, then probably the week after that. 400 mounts, 422 toys, 823 pets. Bring on the new chiefs. Nice. Might go for the Fell Flame, then a spider pet, maybe a dragon pet. I hate the Mage Tower. I got the Beastmaster guy down to 25%. Mage Tower is frustrating. For sure. What's up, Crimson Entity? Hello, everyone. Hope you have a great day. Oh, my friend got the Fox pet randomly. I've been trying. Husband, I've been trying forever. I don't actually know that many people that have it. Which is strange, because it's rare, but I don't know if it's that rare, but maybe everybody else also got equally as sick of doing Withered Army training, in my guild anyways. Because maybe one of my guildies has it, or maybe they do and they just don't talk about it. Why do you use Group Farmer to farm the dungeon? I'm using Group Finder to share my own lockout with my own alts so that I don't have to re-clear the raid. I can skip right to the Lich King doing this. This is going to be attempt number 90. Attempt number 90. It's a 1% drop chance. That doesn't guarantee that we get it within 100 attempts, but it means that we had a good shot. How do you get the Dark Phoenix? The Dark Phoenix... Good question. So it requires a guild achievement. It requires a guild achievement to unlock on the vendor. And I don't remember what guild achievement it was. Alright, so... No, that's for the hatchling. Yeah, Guild Glory. So your guild, the guild that you are a member of, needs to have Glory of the Cataclysm Raider. If you join a guild that has that achievement, you can still buy it after you have gotten your guild rep up. So you could always take an alt, find a guild that has that's willing to let you join for a bit, get your guild rep up just by doing quests, regular old quests, and then you can purchase it for 3,000 gold off of the vendor. But that's what it's from. Glory of the Cat Raider. Very pretty. Husband hasn't collected it yet. I'm only 73. Any word on what they're doing to the angler? So close, still no confirmation. I consider it personally. I consider it confirmed that it works. They said they have no plans to make it not work. They have deliberately made it function on the beta. Originally, the UI showed it as disabled, even though it still worked, and then they changed the UI to show it is still working. It should still work. It will be very strange if it does not work. Whew. Mounts I'll have to save up for the flying. You get level 60. Enjoy your videos a lot. BFA will probably be the first expansion I do World Quest in. I love World Quest. It's like, I know that's weird, but I don't care. World Quests are like my favorite thing to log on. It's like dailies, except you feel less annoyed if you just decide to give up after a while. Got the invitation to drop twice. Pre-BFA goals to get as many mage towers as I can. I'm at 21 currently, but close in both Resto Druid and Blood DK. Resto Druid was gnarly. Got the invitation again, already had it, so I felt kind of disappointed. I wish you could hand them out after you already got them, or sell them. Because then people that are continuing to do that content could make some good gold when they get doubles. And people like me, who can't get them to drop, could just give somebody a bunch of gold. That would be great. Have you gotten your Emerald Drake? I only have my Blazing Drake to go. The Agony. I do have my Emerald Drake. I do have it. That's my not sponsored Colgate toothpaste Drake. It's like it just looks like a mint tube of toothpaste except in Drake form. That's the color green that is. I like it. What is the name of the mount you're trying to get? We're farming for Invincible. Invincible. Invincible's Reigns, Invincible's Charger, Invincible. This one. Invincible. That's the mount we're trying to get. It's like a spooky, ghosty, stabby ribs, snowy pony. Ugh. What am I character? I guess I'll ride on my Death Knight. I'm not actually that. I mean, I'm excited about it, but yeah, I'll talk about the Lothian Prowler. That's the fox mount that's from the invitation. Do you think getting the Underlight Angler will be easier or harder to come? Do you think getting the Underlight Angler will be easier or harder to get come BFA? I think it'll be exactly the same. I think it'll be the same as it always was. I'm assuming, and I have no evidence to back this up, but my assumption is that they will add like something kind of like a new version that you can get doing new content so that people that want those benefits don't have to go back and do the Legion content. But I don't know that. I don't really know anything about that. Okay. 5 out of 6 Fisher friends, only 1 to go. Nice. Resto Shaman was way worse than Resto Druid. Torn Invitation a week ago made me really happy. Got enough money for the Brontosaur mount? No. I have 1.95 million gold right now. I almost had 2 million, and then and then the month rolled around, and I usually buy some pets to hand out to my Patreon Battle Pet giveaways, but we're just about 2 million-ish. And part of me really wants to hang on. Part of me really wants to buy the spider. Part of me just wants to buy the spider before Legion, or before BFA. If I was trying to get it before Legion, it would have been too late. Just, even though that'll set me back 2 million from a 5 million gold mount. Part of me just wants to buy the spider. What are you most excited about for BFA? New world with new world quests to do. Really excited about running all of the new dungeons with my guildmates and gearing up for the raid. I really like the early expansion times when you are doing all of the content, trying to get the best stuff that you can. You get really excited when you get a good Warforge or, a good piece of gear to drop. We're going to have that with weapons again. We're finally going to be able to farm nice weapons drops. Getting new stuff, collecting new toys, seeing something drop and being like, I don't know what that is, and then clicking it and finding out. Like the joy of exploring a new shiny home, because I live in this game. A little harder if you want to buy the lures. Special gaming glasses, just regular computer glasses. Is there a difference between gaming and computer glasses? They are slightly tinted for computer use. I think they were sold for gaming. I don't know if it matters. These are gamma ray glasses, so they're available on Amazon. They are much cheaper than Gunners. I've been using them for a while. I don't know if they look dumb or not. They definitely look dumb when I wear them with headphones, because I keep the top thing perched way up. I just put them on. I don't want to wear this anymore. I put them on like that by default because I don't like having them pinched against my temples. Oh my god. Just gaming glasses. Just help with the light. I wear them even when I'm not streaming or gaming, just for editing, just because I spend a lot of time in front of the screen, and I like to feel that it makes things easier on my eyes. I don't know if it does, but even if it's a placebo effect, I'll take it. They're pretty comfy. Love how interactive you are with your stream. It's so nice. Why all your alts named Hazel? You're so funny. So everybody knows who I am. Recently started playing the auction house. Started with 180k. 3 weeks later, I've gained 100k. There's some margin for you. Nice. 7 million gold and have no plans on buying the Bronto. I could pay for my second account for almost 5 years with that gold and plant them at an auction house. Yeah, but then you have to log over. I have a bank alt. The whole reason why I want the Brontosaurus is so I can not have a bank alt. I can just sell stuff on wherever I am. That's cool. Would the Mad Merchant be removed in BFA? No. Mad Merchant's not going anywhere. What are you looking forward to? I think I just answered that one. Maybe I already read that same one. Do you know if the artifact skins will be account-wide? As far as I know, and I should double-check this, but they will be account-wide, but only usable on a character of the same spec of that artifact. Any tips? Target group 1 with scroll wheel switches through their pets. I don't like that. You can change any key bindings that you want. All of them are in the key bindings interface. There is somewhere, and I've probably unbound it because I use my scroll wheel for, I use it for arena targeting actually, and arena focus targeting, as you can see. But everything should be in here, and you can remove or change any keybinds that you like. You should be able to find it there. I know the struggle with glasses and headphones. I'm late. What map run are you doing? We are doing Ice Crown Citadel. Just over and over. It looks super cute in you. Why, thank you. I do eventually want to pick up a pair of gunners just so I can compare them and try them out and see if they're different. And maybe do a video, going over the topic of whether or not it's worth spending the 60, 80, whatever bucks for a pair of gunners over these were like $12 or so. You would think that these would be flimsy and like easily broken, and maybe they are, but I've sat on them so many times. I've sat on them, my cat sat on them, I've stepped on them, I've dropped them many times. They seem good. They seem pretty sturdy. We all gave up on Field Medic. I did. I truly hope the new expansion is full of secrets to discover and explore. I miss getting lost in the world. There's always going to be an end to that phase. Like, there's always going to be a point after which you know everything that's out there and you've seen it all and you've gotten all the stuff that you want, and then you're just kind of like back on the normal day-to-day. But there's always another expansion coming eventually. A new patch, new stuff. They're always working on it up in the candy factory. Candy factory. Nobody calls it that. What am I doing? Ray, this character stays, this character gets removed. I am in normal 25. Still using the default layout. Your DBM pack is awesome. Hoping they ask you to do an in-game voiceover at some point. Yikes. Alright, no. No, this is not right. Leave. Oh, man. My DBM pack, I had to disable it on my own character, or on my own account, because, not because I think it's bad, but, man, listening to your own voice when you're raiding freaks you right out. Can't do it. Nope. It's, especially because I'm never expecting it, and then it just happens. Ugh. I don't have any particularly special voice skills. Like, I can't really do specific voices for stuff. I can kind of make it, I can approximate when given access to editing software in a lot of time. But, alright, so raid normal 25. It should be normal. How to farm gold? Any way you want. You could do transmog. You could farm, I mean, right now, fewer ways available. Economy always gets a little bit dicey towards the end of an expansion. But generally speaking, things like world quests, order hall missions on alts, always good. That's the easy one. Just have a bunch of alts, get their order halls all set up, or in BFA, the BFA version of that, get their war tables set up. Do missions. Do missions and as many characters as you can. It's just gonna spit free gold at you, and congratulations, you're rich. Haven't changed any key bindings yet. Shift and scroll up and down. Someone started messaging me thinking it's you. Pretty funny. Do you do any raiding? Yeah, I'm part of a heroic raiding guild. I don't do mythics, I only do heroics. And we raid them for usually we clear the raid, we continue to clear it for 6 weeks or so, and then we take a break until the next year. So I'm not raiding currently because we're long done with Antorus, but we'll be picking up raiding again in BFA for Uldir. Got Field Medic. How many times have you done ICC already? Somewhere in the 90-ish range. That's being tracked by rarity anyways. This is gonna be number 90. It'll tell me once we're rolling here. I got my last 4 Field Medic drops in 20 minutes. It can be a grind or it can be unbelievably fast, depends on the group's efficiency. Monks are the key to farming Field Medic. Use your pack, I love it, it sounds so happy. My first time playing at the very start of an expansion, and my first time playing a new expansion with a guild. I'm very excited, I don't know what to expect. Oh, you're gonna have so much fun. You're gonna have such a blast. We're all gonna have fun. I'm excited. It's gonna be great. It's a really good looking expansion so far. Assuming that you had a decent time with Legion. Like, the things that I didn't like about Legion, to some extent the legendary system, and to some extent how hard it was to put on a piece of gear between balancing tier sets and legendaries, those have been taken care of. And everything else about Legion I really liked. Legion had tons of stuff to collect, it had tons of weird little things to do, there were cool secrets and things to figure out, and the secret finding community to do. The raids were great, the dungeons were fun, Mythic Plus was really cool, tons of pet battle content, really pretty zones, cool story stuff going on. I thought Legion was awesome. And BFA is basically Legion in a new zone with new stories and with a couple of lessons that they've learned from Legion applied going forward. Are they going to make new mistakes? Absolutely. I mean, it's impossible not to. That's just kind of how people work. That's how life works. You'll never know exactly how something turns out until you try it. They're going to try some stuff. Some of it will be really cool. Some of it might not be. It'll be a fun expansion. It'll be cool. if you already liked WoW, if you're already, like, if you've been playing WoW for 15 years and you burned out on it like 6 years ago and you're just still kind of playing because you feel like you have to, it's not going to get any better for you. Like, WoW is still WoW, and it's going to continue to be WoW, and it's not, like, if you didn't like Legion, you're not going to like BFA. Most likely. But I thought Legion was good. Invincible only dropped for 25-man Heroic. Yep, we are in 25-man Heroic. Trade Skill Master's running a new beta. Have you tried the new one? Not yet. I got an email about that, Doug. I got an email about it. And I was meaning to look into it, but I am a little bit drowning my to-do list lately, and I actually got pretty behind over the last couple of days dealing with my leaking fish tanks and my poor sick fish. And checking on them 19 times a day to make sure that none of them have died, because if any of them do die, I need to take them out, because you don't want to leave dead fish in a tank. They look okay from over here. Hold on, buddies, get better soon. They have medicine in there. They might be fine. Biggest gamer shame and confession? Oh boy, I have all sorts of those. Oh man. Ugh, every now and then I do a video. I did a video about the Legion tips that I learned too late. There was some yuck stuff in there. Recently I thought that the main battle in the BFA cinematic was taking place in front of Stormwind, when it turns out it's Lordaeron, and I'm dumb. That was pretty bad. I have never played all sorts of different games that people consider to be classics. I don't particularly like Star Wars, Star Trek, or any other sci-fi fantasy, really. Or not sci-fi fantasy. I don't really like sci-fi heavy IP. I've never been a sci-fi person, so there's lots of very classic nerd stuff that I'm kind of iffy about, because, aliens, just me. Do you know if they're going to have servers devoted to old content in BFA? So they're coming out with private, like classic, not private, sorry. They're coming out with classic servers, but that's not connected to BFA. It is probably not going to be early in BFA. It may not be late in BFA. It's a long work in progress, and they don't have any timeline for it yet. That's publicly available anyways. So, separate thing. They are working on it, but not as part of Battle for Azeroth. So that was try number 90. So we have a couple more, I think. We have a couple more. Hero class are you most excited to play? I would love for them to make a Shadow Hunter type class that's kind of like it needs to be a ranged DPS with, I'm thinking 2 ranged DPS specs, 1 healing spec. I would like it to be kind of like the healing spec to be kind of a Tyrande thing that's kind of like a hunter, but you got like owls and moon stuff. I would like the damage specs to be kind of like a Vol'jin Sylvanas thing, where again, kind of like a hunter, but you've got like some extra shadows and ghosts and Loa and, I don't know, spooky stuff. Kind of like a Shadow Priest hunter hybrid, but not of those specific classes, just aesthetically. It can have, the mechanics can be whatever they want to do with it. That's what I would like. That's kind of what I thought Demon Hunter was going to be. Love the shirt. Why, thank you. This is the Argus shirt. I don't know if they still have them in stock, but I bought it for $6 on the recent Blizzard Gear Store sale. I also got I got 2 other Overwatch shirts because they were on sale. I got the Genji shirt and I got the Roadhog shirt. And all 3 of these shirts were medium, and all 3 of them fit differently. Like, the Genji shirt is a little bit tight. It's not too short, but it's a little bit tight, especially around, like, the shoulders, and it's not like I'm terribly buff. And then the Roadhog shirt fits perfectly, and this one fits really well too, but, like, in different ways. And it's just, they're all mediums. They're all mediums by the same people. And the 2 shirts that fit the most differently are the 2 Overwatch shirts. Like, what's up with that? How did that happen? Ugh, man, I don't know. I don't even play that much Overwatch. I barely play Overwatch. I enjoy watching Overwatch. I love watching Overwatch. Playing it, How are you started WoW? I got started with WoW back when I was in high school in 2008. I was about 16. My friends and high school boyfriend all played lots of WoW. It's all they talked about. Very boring to listen to a bunch of WoW players talk about WoW when you don't play WoW. And that was all I had to do, so that was a thing. And then I would, like, go visit him at his house, and, like, he would just play WoW. Like, he would invite me over and then just play WoW without me. And that was boring, and that kind of sucked. Don't do that. So I eventually got the game, started playing, had a good time. Fit in, and they quit not that long after. Not because of me, I hope not. I don't think they quit because of me. They quit, like, once we were all graduating, they were going their separate ways. And I just never quit WoW. And then I got more into it, and then I started a YouTube channel, and now my entire life has been overwhelmed with World of Warcraft and fish, and it's a pretty good time. You'll get invisible, you'll just have to find him. Is this child friendly? I'm 9 years old. We do our best to keep things pretty family friendly here. I cannot guarantee absolute purity, especially from the chat. Are you gonna keep doing pet battle vids in BFA? Yes. Yes, I will. They should have playable owl people. They do. They're called boomkins. Favorite zone in Draenor? Shadow Moon Valley. Like a Pepe Battle Pet, just saying. I feel like if they haven't already done a Pepe Battle Pet, which they haven't, they're probably not going to. Maybe they like that one to just sit on people's heads and not be put into battle, you know? How do you feel about Priest mechanically now that only numbers are going to be changed? Why do people keep saying that they're not changing anything mechanically? There's lots of mechanical changes. Void Torrent works completely differently. There's, like, the talents have been moved around. There's talents that you used to take that you will no longer take. The fact that Twist of Fate is no longer an insta-lock means that you can play with other talents in that tier. Mindseer is back. The passive Mindseer has been removed. That's going to completely change Shadow Priest in PvP. You can do God Comp again because you're not default AoE and stuff. I think it's fine. I think it's good. Did you farm the Sky Shards for the Thundering Ruby Serpent? So, I did farm the Sky Shards. I did get the Serpent. I didn't get him with my Sky Shards. I didn't get enough of them. I farmed for a long time. Not excessive, but I think I had over 5,000 kills of the dudes. And I got like 2 shards. 2. Like, maybe 3. It was awful. I had a terrible, terrible luck with them. And one of my friends took pity on me and had an extra one and wouldn't let me pay him. So I got it that way. You have TSM database running that makes the initial render take forever. I do, and it does, and I still stick with it because I really like having these features, the account-wide thing tracking and then market price and tooltips. I just really like running TSM for that reason on all my characters. I don't run it on characters that I'm just creating to like hand out a battle pet, or characters that I'm creating to, or characters like that I have like on other servers that are just for camping stuff. But I do use it on all of my characters in library. So normal 25. I'm pure. Hi Hazel, thanks for the entertainment today. Hope you and hubby are well. Miss you. Hey Baz, we're doing good. We're doing real good. I've gotten into a very, very intense fish keeping kick. I'm a little bit fish obsessed these days. So we now have, yesterday we had 4 aquariums that had life in them. Today we have 3 because one of them started leaking and those have been merged into one of them. But we've been doing lots of fish stuff. It's very hard to talk to me recently because all I ever have to say is stuff about fish. I'm aware that it's a problem, but I can't help myself. As a race with all the classes, most of the classes. Oh, I see. You want to be an owl paladin. There might be a toy that you can do. I don't know if there is one right now. Right, 25 Heroic. But maybe they'll add a toy that lets you look like a Bimkin even when you're not a Bimkin. Pepe Battle Pet would be illegal in EU. How many Invincible runs have you done total, do you think? This should be 91. There may be a couple more that Rarity didn't pick up across other characters that I just haven't logged in on or maybe have deleted. But somewhere in the 90 to 100-ish range. A lot of people forget you could straight DPS Holy Pally. Have you tried Altaholic? It's my new favorite thing. I have not yet tried it. It will probably become my new favorite thing once I get over myself and try it. But I'm weirdly resistant to new add-ons when I don't feel like I have a need for them. And once I get them, I'm like, wow, this is the best thing ever. But every now and then there's something like all the things. I have all the things. I don't use it. I prefer tracking my stuff in other ways, even though this is probably more convenient. My biggest gripe with this? Sure, show me what I don't have. Tell me where to get it. Tell me where to get it. That's all I need to know. Like, I want to know not only what I don't have, but where to get them in the same user interface so I can figure out which ones to prioritize. I don't know. Nervous about class changes. I came in with Legion back in October, so first time experiencing that. Any cool WoW noob stories? Well, my most classic one, early on, Wrath of the Lich King. When I first started playing, I was playing a hunter. It was my first character. I'd gotten up to like level 30 or so. This isn't a very exciting story. Don't get too excited. And I finally had gotten a pair of blue shoulders, which is a big deal. I got them out of a dungeon. Up until then, I'd only been wearing like greens, and I had like really old greens. I was so excited to put on these blue shoulders. And then all my friends made fun of me because I was a hunter and they were cloth shoulders and they had spirit on them. And they didn't have agility because that's not how it worked back then. And I didn't want to take them off because they were blue and I was keeping them. And they were wrong. Is there such a thing as a fishing bag in WoW? There actually is, yes. There are different types of profession bags that will have larger space for cheaper, like the bag is cheaper, it has more space in it, but you can only keep items, certain types of items in there. And there is a fishing one. I think they're called tackle boxes. You can only put fish and fishing supplies and fishing stuff in those bags. But they take up one of your bag slots, and new bags have gotten so big that I think for the most part the use of profession bags has kind of fallen out of favor. because you can, like, they didn't really keep adding profession bags that were bigger than the standard bags, and bags have gotten just really big, so you're better off for the most part just getting like a hex weaver, an even bigger bag that can carry anything, because it's going to be just as big as your tackle box would have been. It always takes me a minute to kill him on this character because she has no gear. I should do the artifact thing, but I don't think I have to. I think I'm gonna, like, my artifact's getting disabled when the pre-patch hits anyways, so it really would have been just for this one Lich King run. Make sure I keep my agony up. I don't know. Oh, I need to press that button. I always forget to press my Reap Souls button, which I guess is fine because my artifact's getting disabled soon anyways. But, eh. So many alts, I've always wondered what your lowest item level is. Of my 110 alts, probably this one. This character has still heirlooms on. She may have somewhere... I think I have some characters that are still wearing some gear that they had in Warlords. I may have some characters with some WoD gear on still. One wish for a new allied race? Oh, oops, sorry. Dryads / centaurs, those would be real neat. Searching one spot for all the inventory, what bag they're in the guild bank. Still waiting on Arakoa. Recommend finding guild now or later on when I'm 120, have some gear. I would, if you're looking for a raiding guild to raid with, I would do it later. Because if you join the guild now, and you're just hanging out with them socially, and that's all well and fine and good, and then you get geared up and you start raiding with them, and you realize you don't like how they raid, like you don't like the way they manage their raid, maybe they let somebody do something during raid that doesn't work with you, maybe they don't raid at a pace that you're happy with, maybe they goof around too much, maybe they don't goof around enough. There's all sorts of different, like, maybe you don't fit with them as a raiding guild, but at that point you've already been a member for like months, and you can still leave, but it's awkward. I would say it's probably better to trial with raiding guilds at max level when you have something to offer them, and see if you fit in with them at that point. So you got less invested if it doesn't work out. But either way, I'm sure is fine. Altaholic? Altaholic is the name of an add-on. It's also a word used to describe people that create lots of alts in this game without really spending a whole lot of time on any given main. I choose to believe that as long as I'm spending most of my time on my main, I can have as many alts as I want and be fine. But it's just a fun term. Remembers the Talbar Mantle. I do not. What is your... for playing WoW? Like my equipment? Like my gear and stuff? I have a Logitech G600 mouse. I have a Razer Orb Weaver gamepad. Nobody needs these, but they're really handy. I really like playing WoW with that thing. My keyboard, which I don't really play WoW with, but I do lots of typing whenever I'm writing up like a script or something, is a Logitech G610 Orion Brown. I really like mechanical cherry brown switches. They are my preferred type of switch, just for their level of noise and impact. Blues are just too loud for me. And, no good. No good. I've really crashed the price of these pets on my server. It's been pretty bad. Alright, we got, what, one more character to try? There's the toy to turn you into a moonkin. It just takes some time. Called the Moonfeather statue. Works for the entire party. My voice is starting to get a little bit sore. I mean, this is a little bit of a longer stream. We've been going for... How long have we been going for? Not a longer stream by normal streamer terms, but I only ever stream for, like, an hour usually on Tuesdays, and then 2 hours on Fridays, and then I'm done. So, we've been running for an hour and 48 minutes. It's cookable fish. Do fit in cooking profession bags. Bait and rare fish don't. Oh, that's annoying. Why have a fishing bag if you can't even put your bait in it? The bait takes up so much inventory space. That seems like it would be the whole point. No wonder people don't do it. Are there any more Mage Tower appearances that you're going to try and get? No, I'm done. I'm done. Giving up. And I don't even feel that bad about it, you know? I played through all of Mists of Pandaria. I didn't get any challenge modes. That's fine. I didn't get the challenge mode Phoenixes. I didn't get the Warlords. I played through all of Warlords. Didn't get the Warlords challenge mode weapons. I played through all of Mists of Pandaria. I never got a legendary cloak. There's my nerd shame right there. I played through all of Mists of Pandaria. I never got a legendary cloak. You didn't even need to raid. You could have done it in LFR. I never did it. There. It's out in the world. Yeah. And it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's fine. I'm fine. There'll be other transmogs in the world. How much more sweaty is a raid compared to dungeons? Depends on how long your group goes for. If your guild likes to raid for 6 hours at a time, you might get a little warm. Why don't you give your alts fantastical names rather than the same name? I used to do that, and I actually switched to preferring to name them all Hazel. I don't know, I just like it better this way. Got the Stormshock Beaver Pet, nice. Do you not already have Invincible? If I had it, it would be very silly of me to continue running this. I don't have it yet, no. Hardest Mage Tower Challenge? Well, I've only done 3. I did Resto Druid, I did Holy Priest, and I did Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest was probably the one that I spent the most time on, but that's because I tried to do it early when it first came out, and I was under-geared for it, and I didn't have the right legendaries. So that was very difficult. As far as what the toughest challenge was, outside of that, all other things considered equal, I think Resto Druid was hard for me. The last phase of Resto Druid, and the fact that the healing was just very long, I found frustrating. Blues are the best switches for work because you can be watching streams and people think that you're hard at work. That feeling when you have an important exam tomorrow but your favorite streamer's online. Study for your exam. There will be a VoD. You can catch up later. Also, it's not like there's going to be any life-changing information that you're going to get during the stream. This is just a place where I talk to because you guys listen and it feels nice. Her names are very on brand. Don't carry that much bait around. Feral Druid, ridiculously easy compared to a lot of them. First time able to catch a stream. Welcome, Mimsy. So I think this is our last character. So I am removing this one. This is our last chance at ICC for the week. We'll try again next week. Even after the pre-patch, we're going to try. If pre-patch hits and it turns out that I am unable to clear the Lich King on 25 Heroic on some of my more under-geared characters, then we'll probably do some different mount runs. Like maybe go back to doing a route of them for just until the expansion hits and I get some of these dudes leveled up. I'm sure that at 120 they will once again be able to do it, but there may or may not be like a wiggly gray area after the pre-patch but before BFA hits where characters like this one who is item level, how'd she get more item level than my Warlock? Anyways, like this one that's like well under 900 might have a hard time doing. That could happen. Raid difficulty, normal, 25. I think actually, aside from the Druid that I accidentally ran on normal today, I actually, despite all of my issues with the lockout, have managed to do it on every character. So that's good. If I do run in and my lockout's messed up, I just have to not accept it and then fix it. It's fine. So, accept. And then raid difficulty, heroic. I want BFA now. It's coming soon. It's happening soon. You can at any time go to worldofwarcraft.com and they have a countdown. They have a countdown running that website and it stresses me out every time I go there for something. It's always ticking. It's always ticking. It's coming. You can't stop it. Soon. Not doing Mage Tower. Hope they release a cat race at some point. Makes me wonder if they should get any special classes. It'd be cool and fun. Special classes for an allied race. I don't know if they would do that. Actually, that's not true. I can't say that. They put out Demon Hunter and they limited the classes for Demon Hunter very much, so maybe they would. Grats in the mount ahead of time. Thanks, Blobby. You think this is the time? This is the last one of the day. This is the last one. This is going to be try, what, 91, 92? Hey, Hazel. I wanted to start getting into battle pets on my days off from work. I watched your How to Battle Pet video. It's been a big help. Thanks for watching, and thanks for dropping by the stream. Hope you have a good time. You should race change your priest to Panda and name him Panduin. I bet they're somebody similar. Probably has that name already. Hearing about your fish tops exams. I failed A levels but still got into uni with an unconditional exams. Don't matter. What about that crazy riot the other day in Portland? Saw a bit of that on some YouTube shows I follow. Folks all kind of worked up. I completely missed that. We don't actually get out to Portland. Like, we're in the Portland area, but we don't actually get out to, like, downtown very often. And to be honest, I don't read a whole lot of local news. Most of my news is WoW news. So I completely missed that. I don't even know what happened. Got Invincible a few weeks ago along with the Blue Drake. Anything is possible. Nice. We got double Lego powers from new talents and our Legion Legos. Yeah, but these characters don't have legendaries. None of my... Almost none of my alts that I'm running this raid on have any legendaries. Because I barely played them. I just leveled them up. And I sat them out here, and that's kind of been the end of it. Why does my Ellie Shaman do reasonable damage to the Lich King? Like, I feel like this is faster than doing it on my Druid that has, like, 100 more item level. What's up with this? What's happening? Dang. Like, that went really well. I had to, like, I checked to make sure that I was still on Heroic. That was weird. Maybe that was a sign. Maybe that's the world smiling down on us. What mount do you or did you want the most? I don't know if I've ever been insanely obsessed over any given one. I spent a while actually really wanting the Dreamweaver Unicorn, but I was lucky that that was actually the second Paragon mount that I got. You have the Spectral Serpent? Spectral Serpent. Spectral Serpent. Spectral... What's the Spectral Serpent? I have a Spectral Steed and I have a Spectral Tiger. What's a Spectral Serpent? I must not have it. When is your birthday? My birthday is in September. On September the 8th, I am turning 26. How is she getting straight to the Lich King? I thought the group trick was patched. I have a video that shows exactly how I do this. It's fairly recent. Something about ICC lockout sharing should be in the title. And I'm just sharing my lockout between my alts. It's a little bit tricky, but it's not too hard. You just need to be careful that you are changing the difficulty and zoning in at the correct times in the strategy. And my video lays that out step by step. And I promise I'm not plugging that because I'm trying really hard for an extra view on the video. Doesn't really matter. It's just that it's an easier place to explain it because you can pause it. All the info is on the screen, so you can pause it, you can read what you need, you can play it, you can replay it if you want. So that's the only reason I keep bringing that up, is because it's going to be easier for you guys to read because I'm not super worried about the view. Let Ellie die in peace. It's working so good though. I've been working getting my own mounts before BFA. I got the Astral Cloud Serpent last night. I'm so happy. Nice. If that's what you mean, if that's what you meant by Spectral Serpent, if you meant Astral Cloud Serpent, I definitely don't have that. Can't wait to get the Undercity Batman from BFA. Yeah, no, I definitely, no Astral Cloud Serpent. I haven't really farmed much mop stuff. I've been trying to, like, go backwards, so, like, I'm kind of trying to get my Lich King and then Burning Crusade stuff done, so that's why we're gonna do this one, and then Ashes. I say like we're just gonna pick them up. Alright, last chance for the day. Doodle-doo, attempt number 93. Well, that's not what we're looking for. Alright, well, let's feed Fleta, because he's gonna be hungry, so I'm gonna blow up his camera. Hey, buddy. Fleta is a betta fish. He is living in a 5-gallon tank. He's got his sponge filter in the back. The plants on the top are floating plants. Those are the roots of the Salvinia. He seems to like those. It's almost time for me to take some out. You want to make sure you don't let them cover the whole top of the aquarium, otherwise he has a hard time getting up to breathe. You hungry, bud? And you have to move him when you feed him, otherwise they kind of block the area that he's going to eat. Hi. Yeah, you hungry? I give them like 5 or 6 pellets or so in the morning, and they're pretty small. And then usually like 2 or 3 is like a bedtime snack, because I give my fish bedtime snacks. Need a Naga figurine. Is he a half moon? He was sold to me as a dragon scale. I think he may have a half moon or even a delta tail when it's fully grown in, which I think it's almost completely back. It does flare out quite wide, but he doesn't always hold it out that far. But he's a pretty boy. The light's not really doing him a lot of justice right here because he's kind of top lit, so he's looking really dark, but he's a good dude. His fins are mostly better. His top fin you can see is a little bit ragged still. And that's because he splits it. He like flares them really hard and he splits it, but we keep his tank real clean. He seems to recover. The lump on the top left is his snail. That's his snail buddy. Anyways, thank you very much for watching. I am finished for today. I am going to do my best to finish editing and put out the video that I said I was going to do last night. I stayed up until like 1 and then it just wasn't happening anymore. I'm gonna try and get that out today. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for listening to me talk about my fish. It means a lot. It helps me to say the things and have them out in the world to, I don't know, it helps me. Cross your fingers for my cherry barbs and hope that they get better. Or at least that not too many more of them die. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful day.